Hello friends, myself Dhruvil Patel, you already knew, and I am going to teach you about design steel structure in detail. In previous lectures, we have studied about the bolted connection, that how the bolted connection is done, types of bolted connection. Okay, today I am going to make you understand, or I am going to teach you about design of gantry girder. Design of gantry girder. Now, first of all, tell me or think that where you have seen the gantry girder, or do you know about the gantry girder or not? Let's give some pressure to the mind for 2 minutes, that where the gantry girder is being used, or what is the gantry girder. What is the girder mean in steel? What is the girder mean in the steel? गर्डर का मीनिंग क्या होता है स्टील स्ट्रक्चर में? Girder means in RCC the beam is made of the concrete. In steel the girder means the beam section. Girder means the beam section. In steel structure beam is known as girder, second name, and generally it is used I section. Generally it is used I section. Okay, so now I am going to cover 3 topics today. The first topic is introduction of gantry girder. The second topic is loads acting on the gantry girder. The third topic is design procedure, design steps. Which are the design steps, loads acting on the gantry girder, and introduction to gantry girder. So, have you visited any industrial factory or any major mills or any equipment constructing site where the RCC pipes are being constructed, where the I section, C section or angle section are being constructed? Have you ever visited that site? So, at that site, to lift the major load, like RCC pipe is of 50 to 100 kilonewton load, it can't be lifted manually. We have to need some of the crane or some of the equipment to lift it. At that site, the gantry girder are being used. The main aim of gantry girder is to support the crane girder on which the hook is being hanged to lift the heavy weight. Okay, so by figure I am explaining you that what is gantry girder. So starting with the introduction of gantry girder. Starting with the introduction of gantry girder. So suppose this is I section of column portion. I section of column portion. This is the web portion, and these two are the flange portion. Like this, it is being placed. Understand? Like this, it is being placed. This portion is here, the web portion is here, and this portion is here. Okay, this is one type of 2D figure. The same column section is placed in the opposite side, like this. This is flange, web and flange. Now why I have placed this column? On this column, the plate section are being placed, or the angle section are being placed, like this. This is one type of plate, or an angle section, like this. Okay, this is placed like this. And connected on the flange portion. Okay, here the board connection is there. Okay, this is in a 2D way. That's why it looks like this. On a 2D way, it will be seen like this. This portion and this portion will be seen. That's why it is in 2D way. Here I can make a thickness so that you can understand. And here the bolted connection is open. Okay, so this is the plate section or angle section is placed. The same I placed here. Okay, on this section, one I section is placed. Over that, one C section is placed. Here also same. One C section is placed. On this, rail section are being placed. What? Rail section. And on this rail section, wheels. Wheel, crane wheels. It is known also crane wheels. Okay, and on this, this is crane. Okay, on the crane, this is hook. Okay, crane is like this. Okay, this is crane. So, where is gantry girder? I earlier say that gantry girder is used to support the crane girder or to transfer the load from crane girder to the column. So the crane girder transfers this load, its load, from here to here and from here to here. Here it comes on the wheel. After that rail section. After that I section plus C section. This combination of I section and C section is known as gantry girder. This is hook to lift the weight. To lift the weight greater than 50 kN or 10 kN, which cannot be lifted by the manually. This is trolley, or it is also be known as crab. This is crane girder. Okay. This is rail section. This is wheel of crane girder. CG means crane girder. Okay. These are column. It might be I section or C section, okay, or plate section. These are plates or angle. Okay, here it is bolted connection. So the crane moves in longitudinal direction. This is one 3D figure. Okay, I will explain you 3D figure later. So crane moves longitudinal, moves like this and like this, and the trolley moves like this, like this. Suppose here is some weight. Okay, I want to place this weight more further in backward direction. Okay, so the trolley will move from here to here, lift the weight. It will lift the weight. After lifting the weight, the trolley will stop. Now it's chance to move the crane girder. Then the crane girder will move backward side, and then where we want to place, at that place जहां पे अपन को रखना है वहां जाके स्टॉप करके उसे रिमूव कर देना है, लूज कर देना है. सो इस थियरी में क्या एक्सप्लेन हुआ कि क्रेन गर्डर आगे आता है और पीछे जाता है, ट्रॉली यू मूव करता है और यू मूव करता है. सो क्रेन गर्डर मूव्स इन longitudinal direction. Crane girder moves in longitudinal direction. This is first point. And crab or trolley moves in lateral direction. Okay, this is the geometry I have explained you about the all crane section. Okay, and where the gantry girder is placed. So this is the geometry. This is the overview of the figure or an industrial crane where the gantry girder is used. Okay, now here the gantry girder for the calculation is of three types. Three types of gantry girder. Okay, first one is like this: I section plus C section combine. What? I plus C. Second one is I section plus plate section and plus C section. So I plus plate plus C. Third one, if the reaction are more, then I section, plate section, base plate section and C section. I plus upper plate plus base plate plus C section. But these two are used in rare condition because these two are known as rigid, known for its rigidity. So these two are used in rare condition. The most probably we used I section plus C section, okay, for the calculation. The C section is used to give the appropriate width at the top portion, and the I section is used for the depth portion, for to recover the depth as per calculation and to recover the width as per calculation. For the width portion C section is being used, and for the depth cover I section is being used. Okay. Now there are two types of crane. There are two types of crane. First one is hand operated crane. And second one is electrically operated crane. Now, what is the difference between these two types? So, hand operated crane, by name itself, we can say that it is operated manually. Okay, by rotating the circle which is joined by the chain, and we rotate and crane girder start moving. Okay, so it itself we can say that it is used for up to 50 kilonewton weight, means up to lift the 50 kilonewton weight. More than that, the manually operated crane is not being used. Electrically operated crane is used for lifting up to 10 kilonewton to 3000 kilonewton. Okay, there are two types of crane. First one is hand operated crane, and another one is 10 kilonewton to 3000 kilonewton weight. Now, in question, it will be given that it is hand operated or manually or electrically operated. But if it is not given, and how to assume that it is hand operated or electrically operated? For that, we have to know the weight which is being given in the question. If the weight is given that the crane is used to lift the 40 kilonewton weight, design an appropriate gantry girder by yourself. Okay, at that time there will be both suitable, hand operated and electrically operated. Okay, so if 40 kilonewton is there, then the best chance is to use the hand operated crane only. Why? Because we need to kept in mind of the economically also. That's why somehow it will be given that, or an idea will be given, or any clue will be shown in the question that which type of crane is being used. The difference will be only the impact factor. Okay, nothing else. So what is impact factor? I will explain you later. So there are two types of crane. First one is hand operated and second one is electrically operated. So the first topic is being covered, the introduction of gantry girder. Now moving towards the second topic, loads acting on the gantry girder. I'm drawing one figure. Okay. So this is crane. What is this? This is crane girder. This I have shown you gantry girder. Here, in here there will be a wheel. That will be moved on gantry girder in the direction of this longitudinal direction. The crane girder will move in longitudinal direction. Okay. Under this wheel there will be rail section. Now the crane girder will move in this direction. Now this green color is given trolley. It will move in lateral direction like this, and the hook is being placed here. Okay, so the hook is being placed here. Now the topic is about loads acting on the gantry girder. So there are four types of load acting on the gantry girder. First of all, we will see about the vertical loads. Which are the vertical loads occurring on the gantry girder? So going to first, so the crane is placed on the gantry girder. Okay, that's why the crane will apply a vertical load on the gantry girder. It is known as self weight of crane girder. So first load will be self weight of crane girder. Like that, trolley is placed on the crane. Okay, and it will apply vertical load on the crane, and the crane will apply that vertical load on the gantry girder. I am going to step by step. So next weight is self weight of trolley. Now the hook. This hook is hang on the trolley. It is also vertical. Okay, so the hook will also apply vertical load on the gantry girder. So weight lifted by hook. Now fourth, rail section. Rail section is placed on the gantry girder. So the rail section will also apply the load on the gantry girder, and it is also vertical load. So vertical load will be self weight of rail section. So these four types of vertical loads, I hope you have all understand that this crane girder will apply vertical load, this crab also apply vertical load, this hook also apply vertical load, and the rail section is also apply vertical load. So these four types of load are known as vertical load. Now second type. Second is impact load. Now, which are impact load? So, whenever we lift the load, some of the impact occurs at the portion where the connection is being done. In general, I can say that if we lift a bucket full of water with our hands, the impact will occur at the joint portion of our shoulder. At that portion we will, or in the gym we lift the heavyweight dumbbells. At that time the impact occurs at the joint portion. So like that, whenever we lift the load, the impact occurs at the joint portion, and the joint portion is a gantry girder because the load are transferring from there. So that's why the impact will occur on the gantry girder. So impact load. So for that, whenever we are going to design the gantry girder of the I section and C section, we need to increase the load by given impact factor, and the impact so for that, increase the impact factor. Impact factor means like that, whenever we are designing the limit state design, at that time we increase the load for the factor of safety as a partial safety factor 1.5. Like that, we need to increase the impact factor for the factor of safety. So increase impact factor. Now impact factor is different for different types of crane. As I said earlier, there are two types of crane: hand operated and second one is electrically operated, is known as EOT also. So impact factor for hand operated is 10% of static wheel load. And for EOT 25% of static wheel load. Means whenever we are using the hand operated crane, we need to increase the impact factor 10% of static wheel load. And when we are using electrically operated crane, at that time we need to increase 25% of static wheel load. Now what is static wheel load? Static wheel load is that when we are not moving the crane or we are not moving the trolley, both are in static condition, but the load is being lifted by the hook. At that time, the static load occurs on the wheels over the gantry girder is known as static wheel load. मीन्स दोनों स्टेटिक कंडीशन में ही है, ना क्रेन भी मूवमेंट कर रही है और ना ट्रॉली मूवमेंट कर रही है, बट लोड लिफ्ट किया हुआ है, बट थोड़ा सा तो वेट लगेगा ना, तब जो सेल्फ वेट के साथ लिफ्ट किया हुआ लोड होगा, तो इन स्टेटिक कंडीशन व्हील्स पे जो लोड आ रहा है उसे हम स्टैटिक व्हील लोड कह रहे हैं. ठीक है. So these are the impact factor we need to keep in mind. This is second load. Now third load. Third one is longitudinal load. Okay, so for longitudinal load, so what is longitudinal load? Any cases? Whenever we start the crane for the movement or we stop the crane for the movement, the starting and stopping of the crane. So at the starting time and at the stopping time, some of dragging occurs on the surface of the rail section. In general, I can explain that whenever we are riding a bike and we apply the brake, but the bike will not suddenly stop. It will stop after some time. So the force occurs between the applying the brake and the stopping the bike. In between the force is known as drag force. ओके, थोड़ा तो ड्रैग करेगी, ऐसा नहीं है कि ब्रेक लगेगा वहीं स्टॉप हो गई. तो यही थियरी यहाँ पे लागू होती है कि जब हम क्रेन को स्टार्ट करेंगे और जब हम क्रेन को स्टॉप करेंगे तो वो सडन स्टॉप नहीं हो जाएगी, थोड़ा सा ड्रैग होगी, तो उसे कहते हैं हम ड्रैग फोर्स. और ये लॉन्जिट्यूडनल डायरेक्शन में लग रहा है, इसलिए हम लॉन्जिट्यूडनल लोड कह रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये क्रेन के स्टार्टिंग और स्टॉपिंग की वजह से हो रहा है. क्रेन मूवमेंट कर रही है लॉन्जिट्यूडनल डायरेक्शन में, द क्रेन इज मूविंग इन द लॉन्जिट्यूडनल डायरेक्शन. सो हाउ मच परसेंटेज इट विल बी? सो इट विल बी द 5% ऑफ बोथ हैंड ऑपरेटेड क्रेन and EOT crane. But 5% किसका? तो 5% of static wheel load. Static wheel load. Okay. So this is our third load. Now fourth load. Fourth load is lateral load. Fourth one is lateral load. What is the difference between longitudinal loads and lateral load? The longitudinal load will occur in longitudinal direction and the lateral load will occur in lateral direction, and in lateral direction the trolley is moving. So the same definition as per the longitudinal load, but in this the load will occur due to the movement or the starting and stopping of the trolley. वहाँ पे क्रेन मूवमेंट कर रही है और उसको ब्रेक लगाएगी तो उसका ड्रैग फोर्स होगा, इसलिए लॉन्जिट्यूडनल डायरेक्शन होगा. यहाँ पे जब ट्रॉली मूवमेंट कर रही है तो ट्रॉली की वजह से, ट्रॉली की स्टार्टिंग एंड स्टॉपिंग की वजह से, उसके व्हील की वजह से थोड़ा ड्रैगिंग होगा. तो स्टार्ट एंड स्टॉप ऑफ ट्रॉली, और इसे सर्ज लोड भी कहते हैं. ओके, तो ये क्या होगा? ट्रॉली की वजह से लग रहा है, इसलिए ये होगा 5% for hand operated and 10% for electrically operated crane. But किसका? तो self weight of trolley plus weight lifted मीन्स ये ट्रॉली की वजह से लग रहा है, इसलिए जो ड्रैग फोर्स ओकर होगा वो इन दोनों वेट की वजह से ही होगा। ठीक है, तो सेल्फ वेट ऑफ ट्रॉली एंड द वेट इज लिफ्टेड बाय द हुक, इन दोनों के कॉम्बिनेशन का 5% होगा हैंड ऑपरेटेड के लिए और 10% होगा इलेक्ट्रिकली ऑपरेटेड के लिए। सो दीज आर द 4 लोड्स occurs on the gantry girder. First one is vertical load, second one is impact load, third one is longitudinal load, and fourth one is lateral load. Then moving towards the last topic of today is the design step. Basically, whenever we design anything in the RCC or steel, we check it on the basis of moment and shear, on the moment capacity and the shear capacity. Same in here, we need to check the gantry girder is okay or not on the basis of plastic section modulus. But the plastic section modulus we can find due to moment only. Okay. So design steps are, first one will be the calculate the static wheel load. Okay. Second one, calculate the maximum bending moment. Due to wheel load. Third one is maximum shear force. Fourth one is section selection. Fifth one is calculate the IXX, IYY and plastic section modulus. Check for moment, check for shear and welding. Now in this calculate static wheel load means I have explained you earlier the static wheel load occurs due to the crane girder. So we need to calculate the support reaction or the both sides of the reaction the crane girder will transfer to the gantry girder. The maximum reaction will be taken as the calculation for the design. Okay, I will explain you in better way in the example. Okay, calculate the maximum bending moment due to this static wheel load where the maximum bending moment is occur on the gantry girder. Okay, and due to this static wheel load where the shear forces occur maximum. Okay. Now section selection. Due to this moment we will select the ZP. We will calculate the ZP and on the basis of the depth and width of the section we will select the section from the steel table, I section and C section. Now IXX, IYY and ZP will be calculated. Here we will get ZP required and here we will get ZP provided. The required ZP will be get on the basis of our load and the provided ZP we will get on the basis of the section selected. Okay, and the main objective of this design is that ZP provided should be greater than ZP required, then our gantry girder is success. Okay, up to here you can calculate. Okay, before further that we need to check for moment and shear. For moment, this moment is known as moment required and this will be MD, design moment, as per the selected section, and MD should be greater than L. Okay, here VD should be greater than maximum reaction. Okay, maximum state equilibrium. And welding. So what is welding? Here our gantry gutter is I section and C section. To connect these two, we need to do here welding. This is known as welding. So this all I will cover you in the example. We will study the example in our next lecture. I hope you all understand about the introduction of the gantry girder and loads acting on the gantry girder and the design steps. In further lecture, I will explain you on the basis of one example, and if any of the details is left here, I will cover in that portion. Okay, for today this much. Bye bye.